LeBron is. Possibly his
So since LeBron is about to be leading in scoring, does that make him the greatest scorer of all time? 6 chips, 6 Finals MVPs, 5 MVPs. Holy shit! Defensive Player of the Year, 11. Oh my god! Nah, this nigga Michael Jordan is really a dog though, bro. Like I don't think there's no debate. Like Michael Jordan has to be the GOAT, right, bro? Okay, we got the harsh truth about the GOAT debate, man. I ain't gonna lie, this is probably one of the toughest conversations to talk about when it comes to sports. You know, there's a lot of, oh damn, won't you look at the time? Hey man, it's 11:11. I just looked at my phone and peeped it. But you know what I'm saying? This is one of the harder topics to talk about because it's so biased. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people's lists are biased, and we're gonna try to see what he say and like how he breaks it down. And we just gonna jump right into it, bro. This is a tough ass video to tough ass topic, I mean, to talk about when it comes to sports.
Fresh 14 for the Lakers. LeBron! Look out below! Oh my lord!
It's never gonna end, is it? LeBron's reign.
One thing I do want to say though is that about this topic, like impact towards the team matters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have like a player be really good, but their team sucks. So it doesn't matter the accolades if they never made a good impact. You know what I'm saying? For example, like Damian Lillard, he's carried the Blazers to the playoffs so far so many times, but he's one of the top point guards, but like, you know what I'm saying? That's just like an example I'm trying to put out there.
Reign over the NBA.
So impact is key, bro.
LeBron is hacked
and
into
then
the
skill
matrix
and all that other
has
shit.
Transcended aging. LeBron is in his 19th NBA season and is somehow still one of the best players on the planet. This isn't supposed to happen. 99% of NBA players peak in their mid to late 20s and then slowly regress as they age, eventually becoming a liability to their team and inevitably sailing off into the sunset, washed up and content with their achievements. But not LeBron. The man is fighting his age like he's got a grudge on time itself.
Hey, I'm gonna make this prediction right now. LeBron, he's gonna play with his son for like a year or two, and they're gonna win a ring, bro. I promise you, bro. I can guarantee that's gonna happen, bro. W prediction.
And the more he piles up on these mind-bending feats, the more we must ask ourselves the question, and I really hate to do this, but is LeBron the greatest basketball player of all time? And if he isn't, what would he need to do to truly, once and for all, be the GOAT?
I think he needs one more ring. I think LeBron needs one more ring. I'm not gonna lie, that nigga is definitely a GOAT. He's definitely a GOAT, right? But like, not only is he a GOAT on the court because his accolades, he has rings, scoring title, all that shit, bro. But bro, he's also the people's GOAT, bro. He's also the people's champ, bro. Everybody loves this nigga, bro, and everybody hates this nigga. The kids love him. You know what I'm saying? Fans love him. But the ones who hate him for no reason. They try to put these false narratives on him like he's doing something wrong when he's literally carrying niggas on his back, bro. Who do you know is doing that, bro? Come on now.
About 5 years ago, I uploaded my first basketball-related video onto this channel. The title of that video, Is LeBron the GOAT? You can still watch this video today, but since it's an absolute dog water of a production, I highly recommend you steer clear of it. To summarize the video, I gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. Fast forward 5 years and thousands of hours of watching games, collecting data, and gathering context in this sport that we
that's
love.
what I'm saying,
I've
bruh.
since changed my ways.
Most love, but most hated. And hate is really just love at the end of the day.
Realize that Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But my original assessment from 5 years ago hasn't completely changed. Because I never said LeBron was the GOAT at the time. I just gave 10 reasons why LeBron would retire as the GOAT. But ever since I dropped that video, I've pretty much avoided the GOAT conversation altogether. I've put a spin on the idea of the greatest players in certain aspects of the game. I've talked about the greatest scorers, I've ranked players using purely numbers, but I've never really broken down who the greatest player is.
Isn't Bron on the path to be the highest scoring of all time? Isn't he on the path of being the highest scorer ever? Come on, bro. This nigga, doesn't he have the most points in the playoffs?
Is, in my opinion, because I just feel like the topic is a bit redundant. And ESPN already gives you a daily update on the GOAT debate anyways, so no need for me to do it. But I think it's time we actually discuss this, because what LeBron is doing at this point in his career is just absurd. At the moment, there are pretty much 3 different camps on the whole GOAT debate. People who think Michael Jordan is the GOAT, people who think LeBron is the GOAT, and people who are wrong. I'm just joking, of course. But not really. I'd say about 75% of people fall into the MJ's the GOAT category, about 20% of people fall into the LeBron's the GOAT category, and about 5% fall into the other category.
But you know what's crazy though? It's like niggas just discredit Kobe, man. Like why is Kobe not getting his credit, bro? Kobe is definitely like the other day we was talking about this. I think we was talking about this somewhere. I don't know, bro. Kobe is top 5, bro. Like, come on. Can we be real? Is Kobe not top 5? That nigga was a fucking assassin on the court, bro.
Category.
Oh my god.
Usually these other fans believe the GOAT is Wilt or Kobe or Kareem. There's not many of them, but boy, will they die on that hill. See, the thing here is that a lot of the fans in MJ's corner believe that he is and will forever be the GOAT. But realistically, is there anything LeBron can do to surpass him? I mean, there's gotta be some sort of objective metric we can use to distinguish the greatest player of all time. No,
but I don't think any other NBA player went to the finals in a row as much as LeBron did.
Opinions, no bias, just the facts. If LeBron somehow won 4 more championships and retired with 8 rings, he'd undoubtedly be the GOAT, right?
8 rings is crazy.
There are paths for him to become the greatest ever, but where does that threshold lie, and what would LeBron have to achieve to get there? First, let's just take a look at the basic numbers. Between Michael and LeBron, LeBron has more career points, rebounds, assists, blocks, more triple-doubles, higher field goal percentage, and a higher three-point percentage. And Michael has more steals and a higher free throw percentage. But this whole argument, the career totals argument, is only useful in demonstrating LeBron's longevity and sustained excellence. These numbers don't prove that LeBron's a better scorer, or rebounder, or defender, or shooter than Jordan. They just prove that LeBron's been good at these things for a very, very long time. These numbers also show just how versatile LeBron is. Possibly his
since LeBron is about to be leading in scoring, does that make him the greatest scorer of all time? Or because, like, you know, he's a, like, there's a difference when it's like scoring the ball, you know what I'm saying? Actually, there's no difference, but you score, right? But like, you know how niggas say like KD is like a pure scorer, like he's just a pure hooper type shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So is LeBron one of the greatest scorers or what? Like of all time type shit, or what?
Valuable asset. So instead of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Michael averages more points and more steals, and LeBron averages more assists and more rebounds. And as much as it pains me to say this, this is usually where the argument for the GOAT ends for most people. Throw in a required comment about their finals records and you pretty much have a condensed version of most GOAT debates. But there is so much more to unpack here. So let's unpack it.
He about to say Michael Jordan lost in his beginning years for so long. Bro, why do I keep pausing it at all these times, bro? That shit is crazy to me. I don't know. Hey, man. Hey. Yeah, I know, but you gotta understand what I'm saying, though, like with the point shit. Because, like, when people say greatest scorer of all time, they're saying it like how fluid he is with scoring, how skillful he is. A lot of niggas like to say that LeBron doesn't have skill. And that shit pissing me off, bro. Like, LeBron is like, I ain't gonna lie, LeBron is like one of the best basketball players like ever, bro. Like, he changed the game. Yeah, we really catching them all, bro. We really catching them all. You know what I'm saying? Gonna keep grinding though.
So y'all know how much I like advanced stats. They don't tell the full story, but if you know which ones to look for, you can discover some nuances in a player's game that you won't get by just watching them play. Player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These 6 advanced stats give us efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything in between.
I think when you say GOAT, it depends on how you want to approach the conversation. Like, do you want to talk about like as a player or like accolades included? Because as a player, I think LeBron is probably one of the best players of all time. Top 3, bro.
And in these 6
depends on how you want to approach it.
Statistics, Michael Jordan exceeds LeBron in 5 of them. He's more efficient overall. He contributes to more wins. He contributes to more points. He's better on defense, and he is generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat where LeBron tops Jordan is true shooting percentage. Now, in terms of who's a better basketball player, nearly every metric points to Michael Jordan. But really take a look at these numbers, and it's actually uncanny just how close LeBron is to MJ across the board.
In each category, he's not below 2%. Each category, he's not below 0.2. Points, he's down 0.5, but he's not even down a point. You know what I'm saying? That WS, I don't know what the fuck that is. He's down by 0.2, 0.1 rebounds. For defensive, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what this means, bro. I don't know what this means.
Just a fraction behind Jordan in pretty much everything. But these numbers aren't even addressing who's greater, because that conversation would involve accolades and accomplishments and impact on the game. Take away the rings, the influence, the intangibles, the opinions, and it's virtually objectively true that Michael was a better basketball player than LeBron. But the GOAT debate isn't necessarily about who is the better player. It's about who is the greatest player. We've got some more unpacking to do.
Okay, so it's about accolades.
Now, we cannot have a thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments of each player.
Wait, did that nigga say thorough GOAT debate? Oh,
now,
nah, I know he said thorough. I'm just, yo, that sounded crazy.
We cannot have a thorough GOAT debate without discussing the accomplishments of each player. Numbers are cool and they have their purpose, but numbers alone aren't indicative of greatness. They're just a vehicle to greatness. This is why, despite James Harden spending half a decade piling up some of the greatest scoring numbers in NBA history, most people don't
see. Like, listen, now here's where it comes in when I'm talking about the scoring. Personally, this year when Harden was doing all that fantastic shit, James Harden was the best scorer in that season. The way he could create a shot, the way he can get his buckets, it was like he was displaying a lot of skill. Now, for Bron, that nigga is just bullying you, playing bully ball, and just shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what I mean by like who's the greatest scorer. I'm not saying just points. You know what I'm saying? That's why, because like when niggas talk about KD, which I personally think he's one of the greatest scorers, he's just so natural, so fluid. He got the midi pull up. He'll cross you up. He's displaying a lot of skill. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Bron is not displaying a lot of skill. Because Bron is one of the most skilled players in the league. I'm just saying that Bron has a different style of play. Bron is more bully ball. Bron is more post you up and fade away type of shit. That takes skill. Don't get me wrong. But it's too hard of a debate to talk about when it's talk about greatest player. Because like accolades aside, bro, it's just too hard of a debate because niggas are still dropping 30. Niggas are still doing it their way. Everybody's unique and different in their own way. So you can't really say, bro. Like you could throw a lot of niggas in that conversation. And a lot of players now are better than a lot of niggas back then. We could talk about that too, but we'll save that for another day.
Consider him great.
I don't know what's up with these old heads and why they think they're just so much better than us, bro. Like that shit is beyond me. Crazy, bro.
Than some players with far lesser offensive numbers. The numbers complement the accolades, not the other way around. This is also why I consider Wilt Chamberlain to have been a better basketball player than Bill Russell, but Bill Russell was greater than Wilt. Wilt achieved his greatness through his numbers, whereas Russell achieved his greatness by contributing to an
Shout out Oakland,
unrelenting
Bill
style
Russell.
of winning basketball. So let's take a look at the accomplishments of both Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Now, there are plenty of other awards a player can earn in the NBA, but these are the ones that really stand out on a player's resume. Championships, Finals MVPs, regular season MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA selections, and All Defensive Team selections. And amongst these 6 categories, Jordan beats LeBron in 5 of them. And Michael accomplished all of this in just 15 seasons to LeBron's full 18 seasons. The only
Damn. 6 chips, 6 Finals MVPs, 5 MVPs. Holy shit. Defensive Player of the Year, 11. Oh my. Yo. Nah, this nigga Michael Jordan is really a dog though, bro. Like, I don't think there's no debate. Like, Michael Jordan has to be the GOAT, right, bro? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, bruh, like, we could watch highlights and shit and we could really look at it. But like, bruh, I ain't gonna lie, but that nigga Michael Jordan is just a demigod, bruh. He didn't lack anything, bruh. He didn't lack anything, bruh.
The only category where LeBron outperformed Michael is in all NBA selections. And most will argue that, again, this is an accomplishment of longevity more than anything else, which, at this point, seems to be the overall theme in the GOAT debate. Up to this point in his career, the majority of fans will agree that LeBron has been a step below Jordan in terms of greatness. So now the race to become the GOAT has become a marathon, because eventually the sheer volume of LeBron's career numbers and achievements may become so overwhelming that we'll have no choice but to concede that he is in fact the greatest player of all time. Which brings us to a real dilemma in this age-old debate.
So, are we talking accolades or are we talking overall basketball player? Like, let's talk. Let's talk.
The flame that burns twice as bright burns half
Hold on, this little button thing.
as long. A great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu.
Hold on, the little YouTube shit at the bottom is keep popping up. I gotta.
Regarding the
There we
idea of a great quote by the ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu regarding the idea of excellence and the sustainability of it. Almost as if you can have longevity or be exceptional, but you can't have both. Now, in the world of basketball and sports in general, usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. Michael Jordan was excellent for 13 seasons in the NBA. His flame was violently bright and it burned for quite some time. But what if there was a flame that burned about 95% as bright and lasted much longer? At a certain point, the radiance of even the brightest flame is outclassed by the flame that just won't quit. Of course, LeBron isn't a flame. He's a 6'9", 250-pound freak of nature in basketball shoes, but his light shines about 95% as bright as Michael Jordan's did, and it's lasting a whole lot longer.
Can LeBron stay in the league for like 8 more years? Yeah, he's saying that LeBron has way more longevity than him. He's saying that LeBron has more like he basically saying like Bron got more skin in the game. That's what he's basically saying, cuz Bron ain't hurt too often, bro. Bron ain't hurt too often. He's healthy. You know what I'm saying? He's in the game he's been in the game way longer. That's what he's saying. He has more endurance and like longevity.
When does the longevity of LeBron's brilliance simply
and it's not and there's no down peak. You know how it's like a stock, it's going up and it keeps going up. LeBron, he's not having a turn down. He's not turning down yet. He's still going up. Like, this nigga can play for 6 more years if he wanted to. His body, he's well in shape. That's what I hear him. Yeah.
outmatch the slightly greater but much shorter brilliance of Michael. Because as we've discussed, Mike trumps LeBron in pretty much every single metric other than longevity and overall production. So the real question here is, how much longer will LeBron have to be excellent before the majority agrees that he is greater than Michael was? The man is in his 19th NBA season, and he's leading the NBA in scoring. He's still a top 5 player in the league, and his bag is getting deeper and deeper with every season.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy.
Here's a chart of LeBron's total points, assists, and rebound averages throughout each season of his career. Each point on the graph represents the total average of points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career.
So this is one of his best seasons yet. This is one of his best seasons yet, as far as production.
So, for example, this season LeBron is putting up 8, 6, and 30 a game, so his total for the season is 44. Now, in the NBA, anything above a total of 40 is exceptional. LeBron's total production has exceeded 40 in 17 different seasons.
Damn.
Now here's Michael's
Oh my
total
God.
average points, assists, and rebounds for every season of his career. This is by far the greatest arguments in favor of LeBron in the GOAT debate.
See, now this is just straight hoop. This is just straight hoop, no accolades. When we talk no accolades, straight hoop, personally, I do believe that Bron is the better basketball player than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Bron is like, he has a wider, damn, I'm trying to think of words to use. Basically, I was just trying to say his bag is deeper than Jordan's. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. That's it. That's it.
The man has simply sustained excellence for longer than Mike did. And although the numbers are just a vehicle to greatness, there has got to be a point where the numbers are just too glaring to ignore. LeBron's numbers are getting to that point. But some fans will argue that there were other players that were still really good this late in their career. You mean like Kareem, or Kobe, or Karl Malone? They weren't even close. LeBron's already the only player.
Yeah, best all-around player. And you know what's crazy? I've been saying that for the longest, bro. I've been saying that Bron is the best all-around player. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can pass, he can create his teammates and get them open. He can defend. He's a great chase down artist. He's a great team leader. He has high IQ. He's one of the smartest basketball players of all time. Let's not mention that the fact that he's 6'8", 250 something, a fucking machine. He'll bully you out the way. He can guard all 5 positions. What else can he do? You know what I'm saying? He's yeah, bruh. He has no weak spots. He every spot, every aspect of the game, you could check that off in the checkbook. There's no weakness in his game, mentally or physically. High IQ, can score, pass, can rebound, creates opportunities for his teammates, makes his team better. That's the best aspect. That's the best thing. He makes his teammates better, bruh. When niggas play around a LeBron, you gotta play at a certain expectation, a certain standard, or guess what, nigga? You getting traded by the GM. You know what I'm saying? Did Jordan make niggas better? Not as good as LeBron did. You know another nigga who makes niggas better? Lonzo Ball. That nigga makes his whole team better, bruh. He gets everybody involved, gets his teammates confident. You know what I'm saying? LeBron literally carries niggas to the finals, bro. Come on, bro. 9 times in a row. Who's doing that, bro? Who's going to the finals 11 straight times? Or whatever the fuck number it is. Come on, bro. The only player with a 30-10-10 club. Come on, bro. Overall basketball player, no accolades, Bron got it. Accolades involved, that's when the niggas start dick sucking it.
To be a part of the 30K, 10K, 10K club. Aside from a freak injury, he'll undoubtedly break Kareem's scoring record. He'll probably play the most seasons in an NBA career. He already has the record for most All-NBA selections, and he's still adding to what is probably the longest career highlight reel with moments like this. If LeBron is still doing this in a couple years, while still putting up All-NBA numbers, I really think it's going to be difficult to say that he's not the greatest player ever.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. While LeBron's legacy is growing as he plays more seasons, Michael's legacy would have been slightly diminished if he played more seasons. Of course, this isn't a matter of fact, but all the evidence points towards this assumption. Michael Jordan retiring after playing just 13 NBA seasons in 1998 was the best thing he could have ever done for his legacy. The Bulls were not going to win
Yeah, he
another
cut that shit
championship,
short.
and the backbone of the dynasty he had built had all but vanished by the beginning of the 1999 season. If he had played through that 3-year retirement gap from 1999 to 2001, he would have either stayed with the Bulls and put up huge numbers on a losing team, or signed with a different team and chased rings. Both options being far less illustrious than him going out on top with the team that drafted him. Michael's career was the perfect storm. He was drafted by a franchise that was ready and willing to build around him. He was on a roster that suited his skill sets extremely well, and he and the Bulls peaked right as the dominant teams from the 80s and early 90s like the Lakers, Celtics, and Pistons began to fade away. You could not have written a better career if you tried. On the other hand, despite his success, LeBron really got the short end of the deal many times throughout his career. He spent his first 7 seasons in the NBA playing for a team that could not have cared less about building a coherent team around him. He spent 4 straight finals going toe-to-toe with the most dominant dynasty in modern NBA history outside of Jordan's Bulls. While Michael was surrounded by players who were all willing to buy into their system, LeBron has spent many years carrying the load of bad.
Yo, that clip is fucking infamous, bruh. That clip is infamous. I can't lie. That clip is fucking legendary.
Rosters and seemingly incompetent teammates. Part of which is his own fault for trying to play GM and putting together piss-poor rosters. And I bring up these small nuances because the GOAT debate is very nuanced. As much as people want to act like the whole 6-0 in the finals is the end-all be-all to the discussion,
right,
it's
bro?
just not. If rings were all that mattered, then Bill Russell would be the GOAT. Oh, but he played a long time ago. That doesn't count.
This is the most biased debate, like I said in the beginning. This shit is so biased, bro.
Okay, well then Robert Horry is the GOAT because he has 7 rings to Jordan's 6. Well, yeah, but Horry wasn't the best player on any of those championships. Okay, so is the argument about rings, or is it about being the best player on the court, or a mixture of both?
Yeah, LeBron's
is
a
player's
robot.
Performance, despite how masterful it was, all in vain if his team loses? The line becomes less and less clear the deeper you dig. No single metric can be used to determine this debate. And the unpacking of every small minute detail is a necessary burden. But unfortunately, it's a burden that most fans won't bother to take on. At the moment, I personally believe Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I also think he's the best basketball player of all time. But, unlike some fans, I don't think the door has closed on LeBron. I think that if LeBron can continue to dominate the league for a few more seasons and continue to shatter our previous notions of what we thought was possible in a single NBA career, I think that he has a chance to retire as the greatest player of all time. But of course, only time will tell.
And what's crazy is Bron still got multiple seasons left, bro. He's still got multiple seasons left. He's about to come back into this season with a healthy Anthony Davis, with a healthy roster, with a healthy Russell Westbrook, and probably a mentally cleared, mentally cleared Russell Westbrook as far as, you know, mental health and shit like that. As for what he was talking about through the season and shit. A confident Russell Westbrook. If we can see a confident Russell Westbrook and a healthy Anthony Davis throughout the NBA season, and they pick up some nice players for the bench and nice role players, the Lakers can go crazy. Simple as that. Just like they did in 2020. They had the role players and all that shit. So LeBron ain't nowhere near done yet, but he got a couple more years. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget the script. He will win a ring with his son. It's all part of the script.
And fortunately for LeBron, time seems to perpetually be on his side.
Yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up, bro. This is pretty much the NBA GOAT debate finalized. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna wrap it up, though. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, turn on post notifications, man. Make sure you tap in with the Twitch because we live on Twitch right now, as you can tell. Going crazy, man. We going up every single day, bro. I ain't gonna lie. We hitting 300 at the end of the month. So sub up. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Join the Discord. Join the Reddit. You know what I'm saying? We building a community in there. And yeah, man, that's gonna wrap it up. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day /night wherever you at. That being said, I'm out.